We are back today with Matt Grossclose, a Greensboro Fire and Life Safety educator. You can text your questions about fire safety or the efforts in the North Carolina mountains to the number you see on your screen, 336-379-5775. The fire department is actually teaming up with the Greensboro Science Center next week for Fire Prevention Week. Why is that?
The Science Center has been so good to the Greensboro Fire Department. We both have a passion for serving youth, teaching them, helping them learn in a good and productive way. The Science Center has a location called the Sales Center that we're able to utilize. We actually do a presentation to the kids. We'll be there next week, October 7th through the 11th. We'll be there from 10 to 2 every day. We'll have our safety trailer and a fire truck out, and then we're going to have daily shows at 10, 11, and 2 that people can come out, or 10, 11, and 1 rather, that folks can come out and see Sparky the Fire Dog. We'll go over a nice video from some of our Greensboro firefighters and helpful safety tips to keep them safe at home and be comfortable around firefighters in the event that they ever do have an emergency.
And I think that is such an important lesson. You know, something I see police officers doing as well. I mean, the first time that you encounter a police officer or a firefighter, it shouldn't be on the worst day of your life.
That's right, and you have to factor in that once a firefighter gets dressed in all their gear, the only thing you can see are their eyes, and that can be very intimidating.
Why is it important, this might seem like an obvious answer, but why is it important that you don't just teach adults about fire safety, but kids as well?
You have to start them young. You want it to be a part of their development. You want it to be second nature in the event of something happening. I mean, one day, you never want an emergency to happen, but it would be rewarding if you ever get a child that comes up and says, I knew what to do because I was taught by the fire department.
That's great. You know, we're getting some questions from people who are watching at home. Someone asked, where can I take an out-of-date smoke detector that has to be replaced?
So you can just throw it in the regular trash. That's no problem at all. You could also take it to a place where they're doing a shred event where they recycle electronics.
Someone's wondering, they have a couple of fire extinguishers. They haven't been used in over 10 years. Should I get rid of them, or are they still good to use?
If they're looking to discard them, I know that there's a place on Patterson Avenue here in the city of Greensboro where they can discard things like that, a hazardous material disposable site. Also, we have places across the city that do extinguisher training, industrial facilities, and they use old out-of-date extinguishers when they do that because chances are they'll still work. They're just not guaranteed after those 12 years.
12 years, so that's so 10 years for smoke detector, 12 years for fire extinguisher.
Correct.
Is there a good way to have a visible external indication if you have a disabled person in the home?
So we actually have what's called a Signal 3 program where they can reach out to the fire department and we would give that information to Guilford Metro 911 and they would say, hey, there's an elderly person in a wheelchair in this house, and that would put information in the computer. We advise against doing stickers because people will oftentimes move from a home and not take the sticker off, or they may have been in the bedroom previously, and then as they age a little more, maybe they have to stay in a hospital bed in the living room. So we would rather go with that Signal 3 program. They can reach out to the fire marshal's office and we can help them out with that.
Someone's wondering, is a fire blanket better than a fire extinguisher?
Well, there's fire blankets, there's fire extinguishers, and then there's something as simple as just putting a lid on top of a pan that's on fire. And it seems simple, but you want to take the air away from it. Just put it down on top of it, make sure that no air can get in or out. Fire extinguishers, keep in mind, are going to make a mess, and a fire blanket, you want to make sure that you have a proper seal. The lid is going to be smaller and more efficient, so the lid would be number one. Fire blanket, if you feel comfortable operating it, keep in mind you're going to have to get that out of the pouch. You're going to have to put it over everything. So lid number one, I would say extinguisher probably number two, keeping in mind that it's going to make a mess, and then a fire blanket if you have one nearby.
I'm glad that you brought up you know, fire in the kitchen, because from what I've heard, that is the most common type of house fire.
Absolutely. People will get distracted in the kitchen while cooking, or they'll leave the kitchen. You may have a person who starts something on the stove and decides, I'm going to go take a shower, maybe I'm going to lay down and take a quick nap. They don't wake up in time, something has boiled over, the grease in the pan has caught fire, and then you have a problem.
Remind me, what are the names of Tanya always talks about this on 2 Wants to Know, the canister that's above the stove?
Those are stovetop fire stops is what they call them.
Do you recommend them?
So if you're able to use them and able to get them, we don't have any here currently in the city. They're really good for apartments. We have seen them effectively work, but again, it's the ability to get them.
One person is asking, can a firefighter help with a carbon monoxide detector?
So if you have one yourself, that's not something that we have, unfortunately, as a department. We only have regular smoke alarms, but if the person has one and they need assistance putting it up, they can give us a call at 336-373-2576, or they can go online to our website at gfdnc.com, and they can fill out an information request, and we'll get them taken care of.
Perfect. Matt Grossclose, thank you so much for your help and all the insight. We do appreciate it, and we will be right back.